Andy,
What's
all
up,
my
brother?
generation, all my generation talks about this. This chart
Oh,
right here is very in the minds of us. I need you to break it down for me.
ooh. Well, okay. So going back to 1985, good time, by the way. You would have loved it back then. Everything was easy, and there was no stress. And I'm just teasing. I think what was really going on back there in the 85. If you look at that chart again, it shows really the what it's trying to show is a gap of income. So what people were making back then to what houses cost. So for an example, if you look at the baby boomers over there, and the average house making 83,200 versus their income was 23. And then you flip over to millennials today, and you look at it's 74,000 for average income and 468,000. Now, what's also interesting, which this chart does not show, Nick, is the fact that interest rates back in 88 were probably higher than they are right now, or pretty close to being where they're at. So the ratios have changed a little bit, right? So it's like for a long time in the last probably 10 years, we've had interest rates being suppressed, which allowed prices to keep going up. If the interest rates would have been higher all along at the same, let's say all along on all these charts, everybody paid 7% interest for history of time, all the way along, it'd be different. Our housing would grow at the pace of income, right? So there wouldn't be those variables that are throwing things off. So when all of a sudden you drop interest rates, people can buy more than they can afford normally. And so now they're living better than they normally would. So you get used to a lifestyle where I think a lot of the younger millennials now are looking at, look at my mom and dad. They're living in a $700,000 house and they have normal jobs. Why can't we afford it? I think a lot of it is timing. And you know what? What I would say to you is this: just like when I sit up at the cabin, okay, and two school teachers from Iowa that bought the whole peninsula for $17,000 back in the 70s, and now that's worth millions of dollars. Every generation will eventually have its opportunity to jump, but are you ready to jump when the opportunity comes is the key thing. So positioning yourself, saving your money, making sure you have decent credit, having a relationship with a lender so that when all of a sudden that opportunity does come along, let's pounce on it and get you in the game.
Are you seeing a lot of younger people move out from the cities where it's more affordable? I mean, we would think with all the remote work and the Wi-Fi and so forth that people would start getting out of the cities and try to build a lifestyle out there.
So, Nick, I've seen people, so we're the Minneapolis Twin Cities metro area, right? And as I've seen young people, what I mean by young, of course, everybody that's under 50 to me is young, but young people in their 20s, they've got their new jobs, they have their whatever. I'm seeing people moving as far north as Brainerd, out to Alexandria, out to Wilmer. I've moved families all over the state of Minnesota. And because what's interesting is, I don't know if you've really paid attention to these political battles they had with high speed internet, but a few years back, the agenda for the state, legislation was to get high-speed internet up to all these rural communities. That, my gosh, you guys, I thought, oh, what a waste of money. Now I look at it and say, wow, that actually was pretty smart. Now you have families moving from the Twin Cities out to these rural areas and, paying taxes, buying goods, doing and what's happening is outer Minnesota starting to grow pretty fast. And so it's kind of crazy. You're seeing a lot of people leaving the cities and for political reasons too. I mean, some people just don't align with the way things are being done in the Twin Cities metro. Like I said, that's eventually going to be central Minnesota. It's going to be its own state, and the rest of the state will be Minnesota. And because it's going to break off, because eventually there's such stark differences politically and everything else. But I think for the most part, people want to have a safe place to raise their family, something that's affordable. They just want to live a good life. And I totally subscribe to that. So if that means you have to move your family a little farther out to make that happen, and you have a job that allows that, God bless America. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about.
Back to that chart though. I mean, it does look a little depressing. So your best advice for the younger people, obviously save money and be ready to pounce when the opportunity arises. But I mean, a lot of people think there's just no opportunity or it's nearly impossible for them to get into anything.
Well, so if you look, pull that chart up one more time real quick here, if you can. So you're looking at right now, they're saying millennials are averaging $74,000. To be quite honest with you, when I started my first job out of college, I think I was making $8 an hour. That doesn't equate to $74,000. I mean, it was significantly different right back in the day. So nowadays, people are coming out of college, and when they do get a job, they are being paid more proportionally, and rightfully so. They need to be. I mean, 74,000 is and I'm very familiar with this. You can make that as a starting level, entry level RN, a nurse at a hospital. That's right out of school, and they start you, and you can make overtime and make more than that. But so now you have a significant other, you double that. Now you're at the 150. Now you can play the game. But for sure, you need to have, in most cases, where if you have what I call a normal job, whatever that means in today's world, I don't know, but you have two people's incomes that combine together to make housing achievable.
Hey, good advice, Andy. Awesome. That previous segment's being brought to you by you. Get a good realtor. You can save on moving expenses.
Well, hey guys, Andy Prasky here with Remax Advantage Plus, out here with the big rig. I don't know if you saw behind me here, I got this big trailer. Did you know any of my customers, future customers, are able to use this trailer at no charge? It's absolutely free to you. Please use it for resources like nonprofits. Maybe you have a church function, you need to haul some stuff for the church. We're all about giving back. So if you need the trailer, give me a call. I'm Andy P, helping you on your real estate journey today. Wow.
You get a lot of people, clients that use that thing. It gets used a lot.
Yeah. Well, right now I've been hoarding it myself because I'm moving so much stuff around for my kids. But when I put it out on job sites, and it's just a great billboard because people that have done business with me years ago, and all of a sudden they'll come back and they'll say, "Oh my gosh, I saw your, my Prasky logo over here," which is normally a yellow oval. And people are like, "Oh my gosh, I saw your trailer." And the other cool thing is, Nick, it's like this. Where's Waldo? Because all of a sudden I'll get a call from somebody saying, "Hey, is your trailer down in Burnsville? Hey, wait, you're up in St. Cloud?" And I get it all the time. I get calls, people seeing that trailer ripping down the road. So it's cool.
Hey guys, Medicine Lake and Orono are now Minnesota's new $1 million cities. They joined a couple other smaller towns where the average price is at least $1 million. We got a video we're going to pop up here. I want to hear your thoughts on this development.
They are highly localized.
Minnesota has two new $1 million cities where the median price is now 7 figures. Derek James looks at why it matters and what it means for all homeowners, buyers, and sellers.
It's a nice, quiet area, and having the lake, right nearby it's a bonus.
Steve Lovell has lived in Medicine Lake for 25 years. We asked him to guess how much the average home value is in his community.
It's probably gotten up to probably 700-800. I'm guessing.
What if I told you it's a little over $1 million?
Ooh, that's the average? Ay.
While Lovell is surprised to hear that Medicine Lake is a new member of Zillow's $1 million cities list, longtime realtor Paul Larson isn't.
10 minutes from the Twin Stadium here, 15, 20 minutes to the airport, and yet you have a dock on the lake, west-facing sunsets, good fishing, good swimming here. Fabulous location.
Medicine Lake and Orono join Minnetonka Beach, Woodland, Greenwood, and Sunfish Lake among the cities with an average value in the 7 figures, a large concentration in the West Metro. Zillow reports an average Medicine Lake home value of just over $1,071,000, while Orono's is approximately $1,043,000. Larson says it comes down to low inventory, suburban demand, and the strength and diversity of our local economy.
In the Twin Cities, the work ethic and the jobs here are so tremendous that we have a little bit of immunity to the national economic woes that might happen.
As for this new $1.5 million listing in Medicine Lake,
I'm hoping it'll be sold within 30 days.
So one other thing, guys, that I found interesting in all of this is that about 1/3 of all real estate transactions in the Twin Cities Metro right now are cash. Deep-pocketed buyers who may have previously used financing when those rates were really low, 2.5%, 3%. Well, now they're paying cash, and that obviously makes it harder.
Not so sure about this.
You know what I was going to, so I had some, of course, I'm always cooking in my, there's always something going on. And I was watching. So number one, I saw that $1.5 million listing it said lake access and dock. It wasn't on the lake. So, okay. And I've sold houses on Medicine Lake before. And what happens is there's a more consistent concentration of nice houses, but you get out to Minnetonka and there's teardowns that are, let's say 800,000. And then there's houses like Marty Davis's that's $150 million house or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so there's way more expensive homes on Minnetonka and Pryor. and than there is on Medicine. But but it's a law of averages. Would you not agree, Chris?
Yeah, I think that's very interesting. The whole thing is interesting to me. I was kind of, while you were talking, I just went on MLS, and this is how many listings have closed in Medicine Lake in the last 6 months. That many. That's 2. And there were 750 and 875. So I'm not so sure. I'm going to go back a little more.
Well, and of course, they were referencing, in all fairness, they were referencing my best friend, the click it so they can sell your name, Willow. And again,
yeah,
as a reference, as a source. And so, no offense to that reporter, but it blows his credibility when he does that. He should really be going to the MLS, talking to someone like Chris Rooney, who actually is on the MLS, knows what's actually selling, because to make a statement like that, now you're going to have every, you know who out there trying to sell their house for over $1 million. And that's not reality. This is a problem with the internet, right? People start to believe it because it's there, and it's not necessarily always true. And I believe a lot of these reporters are looking for articles or things to talk about on, they're hungry for information. They're hungry for controversy. And this just would stir the pot enough to get your attention. So
yeah, I think all of those, number one, you don't have a lot of sales in each of those. They're all typically pretty small places, like Minnetonka Beach, Woodland, and Greenwood are very little areas within Minnetonka, Wayzata area. Sunfish Lake is a very interesting spot. I've sold a few of them over there, and it's kind of this spot that it's right by Mendota Heights and stuff, and it's right on the way to St. Paul. But it's really there is a lake there, Sunfish Lake, and there's a lot of houses that are around that, but it's not huge, but every house is over $1 million. So it's obviously that's how you get over that. I will do just because we're live and we're doing this, Andy.
Yeah.
I just pulled up. I'm going to pull up Minnetonka Beach too. And
I made the keyboard sound.
Yep, and I'm just going to do for the last 365 days. So that's 5 cities: Medicine Lake, Woodland, Orono, Sunfish Lake, and Minnetonka Beach. How many in 1 year? How many solds do you think there are total?
107.
170.
Oh.
170 homes sold, and I don't. Let's see if we can get. There's some small stuff in Orono, but when you get to Orono is like the biggest one, and so you got some small stuff in Orono, but then you got a lot of really large stuff.
Yeah.
There's one in Orono that sold for $7.5 million. So,
well, and Orono is kind of a cool city too. So even when it's not on the water, there's really nice acreage estate opportunities out there as well. So it's a really a plethora of values, if you will. But this was concentrating on lakefront property. And I mean, you can look at lakefront up in some of the other smaller lakes around the Twin Cities, and it's hard to get on a lake for under 750. And you know what I'm saying? Unless it's a tear down or whatever, and then you're spending $500,000 usually on a tear down.
Andy, if you take out Orono, so Medicine Lake, Minnetonka Beach, Sunfish Lake, and Woodland, 26 sales, 26 in all of within the last year.
My goodness.
Yeah. So then everything averages, well over $1 million. So.
I think you should send a stern email to the radio or to the TV station that ran that, and you tell them what's real.
They might not be wrong here.
Well, in all fairness, back to them,
just not many houses sell in those areas.
They went on Zillow, and they said Zillow says the average value is, and Zillow isn't necessarily, we don't go there for the accuracy, we go there for entertainment. So,
Oh no, here we go, Nick. Watch out. You're gonna have to do some manipulating of this video again so Andy doesn't get in trouble.
I've already took my meds this morning, so I'm calm. So I'm not gonna spaz out. I'm not gonna lose. Mm-hmm. I will if you want.
All right, Andy, like you said, it's best not get your news about real estate from the TV or the Zillows, but talk to a local agent who's an expert in the area. So I think Chris has some expertise in Lake Home.
Dreaming of a lakeside retreat? Here's why Minnesota is your paradise waiting to be discovered. Investment value. Lakeside properties in Minnesota are not just homes, they're valuable investments. Lifestyle upgrade. Imagine waking up to serene lake views, fishing at dawn, or boating under the sunset. Rental potential. Seasonal fluctuations mean you can earn rental income when you're not using the property. Proximity to urban centers. Enjoy the tranquility of nature without sacrificing the conveniences of city life. And variety, from cozy cabins to sprawling lake homes. There's a property for every taste and budget. Ready to dive in? Chris Rooney Home Experts will help you navigate these waters. Your dream lake home awaits.
You sell a lot of properties. You just walk around with a sold stamp.
Just cha-ching, ding.
You go to a listing presentation and go, "Are you ready?" Right on their forehead. Sold.
Did you think that voice was kind of sultry?
I think I heard that on a 1-900 number back in the day.
Dang.
I don't remember which one.
Hey, I read to a bunch of ladies. I read 50 Shades of Grey. I was reading it. Yeah, like they kept making. I just was going to do like one paragraph, and I did like 3 pages. It was hilarious. So, anyways,
I don't know about that, but
I do enjoy the lake, and I tell you, I was talking with a client already today, and we were talking about the nuances of lake and how to price them and what you're looking for and what you would maybe look at on another property off the lake versus on the lake could give on the lake a really great value where it would even help the other one. So you really got to kind of know it to be able to sell it. And when I say sell it, to be able to get your client the top dollar that they should be getting based on how you present it to the marketplace.
So do you think it's wrong when I have a property that's 2 blocks off the lake and I say house with mysterious lake view? You're like, where's the lake?
Yeah.
But it adds value.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you go on your roof and you look over, you can see it.
If you had a tower in your yard,
that's a lake view.
Pretty much.
Who doesn't clean the top of their roof off?
Yeah. I would.
Yeah. Totally.
Hey guys, before we did houses for under $150,000, and then we did houses over 10 million. Now I'm gonna go in that sweet spot about 400,000. Let's see if we can find some deals. I'm gonna pop up your favorite website here, Zillow, and we're gonna skim through it. If you see something that looks interesting, that could be of a good buy.
You should do homes.com. Homes.com is I spend a lot of money at that website. Just
how about anything other than Zillow?
Yeah, there it is. There.
Glad.
Zillow, pillow.
My blood boils when I look at their logo.
What are we looking for here?
We're just gonna go through these, and if you see something that catches your eye that you think is a good deal,
right there. Wayzata 325.
6 days. Okay.
Because it's in Wayzata. It's got a 1-car garage. At least they got a decent lot. And is it just for the land value, Andy? It looks like.
Yeah, probably
a land value opportunity.
Yeah, buy a nice lot for 325, level it, build your big 2-story.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if it. Yeah, look at that lot.
Wow,
it's a great lot.
It is a great lot.
That's the backyard, Andy.
Well, so that doesn't help a young couple looking for a house, but that is an. Yeah. You don't usually see 3s in Wayzata, do you?
Yeah, no, you don't. No, it's and that is one thing though that I mean that it's good kind of for the land value that you can. Someone that's trying to get in for under 400 maybe could go with 325, put some money in it. But a lot of people that are spending, under 400 don't have another 75,000 to put into it. So it kind of throws it off. But okay, what else?
All right, Andy's neck of the woods.
Coon Rapids, look at that beauty for 264. My God,
right here, pop it.
Yeah, that's a deal. Or 300 for Champlin. Done.
So pretty much anything that one does have a contingency on it. So
sure,
but
4-bedroom, 2-bath for 264. Are you kidding me? Can't even get a townhouse for that anymore.
Really? In that area, yeah. Okay,
right. That's great. Go back to the screen. There was also one on Sumter in Champlin, right there. Up one more, right there. You cannot get in Champlin under 300 anymore. This must be distressed.
Let's see if there's any there. You can see the sidings doesn't look the greatest.
It could use a little bath. Yep. A little fresh stain.
It might maybe a trimmer for
But
those.
this,
those
but
trees.
this is a perfect opportunity a lot of times for a younger guy or gal that wants to come in. Over time you redo the siding, you do the deck, but in the meantime you can live there. It's a nice house, safe area, great neighborhood, good schools. You know what I mean?
Looks very livable.
Yeah. See, it's got some of those bigger ticket items coming along. So this is where, like, when I find that consumer, like the young guy, I would say young guy, it could be young girl too. The young person that's a sider or a roofer or a deck builder, and something like this comes along. They used to call them handyman specials, and nowadays they just lower price. But you find a handyman special that you can move in. You don't have to do anything immediately, but over time you make those improvements and you add the value. I call that blue sky. You're buying future success and equities, and having the ability to refurbish stuff over time is a wonderful opportunity. Because that area, I've seen those splits go over 500,000 when they're remodeled in that area. So that might be a nice flip.
I was just looking at a flip opportunity as well, and where it was like, okay, hey, it looks good, but the problem is this one needed roof, it needed siding, it probably needed windows, fascia soffit, and landscaping and a driveway. So you add those in, all of your little fluff things that you're now going to spend on this just to make it look decent is all gone. Right. So you can't. So you need another 150,000 to be able to do it. Now you're priced out. So yeah, getting an opportunity that, hey, for the most part, I can live with this, and let me just slowly kind of put it together, is a really good way in which to look at it and to be able to help your clients.
For sure.
Chris, neck of the woods.
This is my neck of the woods. Wow,
Burnsville
Valley. Let me see.
You remember that skit they did on KQRS, and they had everybody went down to get the free chicken in Burnsville? I still chuckle at that when he goes, "It's in Burnsville." It was awesome.
Hey, it's still my turn. Let me find one here. Let's keep going. Is that all I get? I get those choices? Let me see. Javelin and Lakeville. Keep going. I'm not happy yet. Oh, I think I might be happy with the 371. 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It's only 1,639 square feet, but I have a feeling that this is going to be updated inside. Look at the garage door, Andy.
Yeah.
Look at it inside.
Nice. Yeah, somebody's putting some love in this house for sure.
That's a good look. Yeah.
So you see, this is what I saw a lot in Champlin with that one that was 300, and they'll renovate them and redo them. And
so they did some of this. Go back to one picture, Nick.
I would talk to the furniture consultant and tell them you picked too big of a couch.
How about the closet door consultant?
How about
why wouldn't you paint those white?
Why wouldn't you put wallpaper on it, Chris?
Wallpaper, definitely. I agree. Yeah. You're right.
Or mirrored. Mirror would be nice. So you walk in and go, "Oh my God, is that me?"
This one I feel is overpriced. It's too small.
Yeah, I agrre. Well, they got it overcrowded. Isn't that funny how our complete disposition changed in about 3 seconds here?
Hey, Nick, here's the other thing. Look at those countertops. When you have that small of a kitchen, there can't be anything on those countertops. You're just showing people right now that, there's no prep space.
Well, they did an amateur hour on the fridge side where they did the overhang towards the fridge too. Yeah. That you don't do that.
Hey, let's find a different one then. That's a better value.
Sorry, Steve and Shannon. We shredded your house.
Let's see. Look at nothing in Prior Lake. We're over $1 million over there.
Oh, are ya? Mr. Snooty McSnooty.
We're a millionaire city.
Basically, we have a gate.
We just go with streets. Only streets that we say are million streets. Okay. Orchard. I mean, they're all.
Lakeville for 350 is pretty reasonable.
Well, in Kentucky Avenue, that might not be bad.
Yeah, take a look at that one.
A little 2-story.
Mm-hmm. Nice looking house.
It's not a bad little area either.
No, unless that's photoshopped. But oh boy, this is where they ran out of.
You gotta burn that stuff, you guys. You gotta get that out of there.
Get a dumpster. Let's go. Let's get out of there. Yeah. I mean, hey, 3 guys in a dumpster or whatever they're called. You get those guys or whoever, junk clunkers or whoever there. Get them out there. Up the cabinets are taped.
1-800. We got junk.
Take Andy's trailer. Hire Andy. Get his trailer out there.
Andy.
Yeah, just do that.
Andy, those are soft closed doors. Go back, Nick. Did you see that? They're soft closed. They just tape them shut because they don't want them.
No, Chris. That's obviously a safe. That's where they keep their valuables.
Oh, That's hey, that's really good use of space
Yeah.
if they're using the island as a safe.
Well, at least they're smart and they got a cookie jar. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs a little it needs a little work, but I'll tell you what, that's not a bad
Oh.
price. Some carpet issues.
This
but
is the perfect flip. Yeah. This might be a distress. I should stop picking. This might be a distress sale.
I don't know. It looks pretty. I mean, they got nice
Look at
stuff.
the stains in the carpet. That
just
3-4
worn.
back.
It's just worn because I don't think they have bad stuff. And that bathroom wasn't bad. It's just a
Look at the
little
carpet.
dated. This might be our example, Andy, right here. It's a good area. It's a wooded lot.
Yeah.
Look at that. You even got a master bath. I think you just need.
Oh, that looks cool. That's where the murder happened. Why would you leave that room with that floor like that?
Because they don't have carpet.
They don't have money. I think
sometimes you're allergic to carpet.
I think it's distressed.
Andy, I think they might have new windows in there too. Newer windows. Looked like yeah. See that? Look at that. That's a replacement.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. I would look at this as maybe something to fix up.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think it would take a lot.
Unfinished
Unfinished
basement.
basement.
Well, you can see there. Look at they had carpet down, glued down, and they pulled it up. So I wonder if they had a little flood down there. See the mildew on below the window, up about 6 inches.
That looks like the glue. Oh yeah, right there under that on that stud.
Yeah, and all the way around the closets over there looks that way too. They might add a little flood down there.
Isn't it crazy the stuff that we look at now? And the other thing that you should be seeing there, Andy, is insulation, and there's no insulation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just needs a little work. But I think this one would be how much was this one, Nick?
$350.
I like it's contingent already.
Well, of course. Yeah, I mean that house fixed up is a $550.
Yeah, it could be. Interesting.
But see now what I'm learning, if anything else, Chris, right now while we're doing this, there seems to be room for flippers. And maybe we'll get the whole flip machine running again.
I wish those people would really call me ahead of time. We do a program that if we suggest the fixes, that we'll borrow them the money to be able to do it, so they end up making more money. We just get paid back at closing. Because I think sometimes, just like you said, with no carpet in that one room, I mean, that house might just be with paint and carpet. That might make them $50,000 more, for the situation that it's in, and we get those cabinets and stuff fixed a little. It doesn't take a ton of money in which to be able to kind of increase your return really fast. But
well, even on the outside of that
what
house,
am I supposed to do?
under $5,000, we could have somebody out there mowing, hit the fertilizer, get the sprinklers going, clean up all the debris, put some fresh rock down, get some shrubs in there that look like they're alive. That all that curb appeal makes the person driving by stop and at least give the house a chance. And I always say, so many people forget about that important part. And like, I don't know. I just when you don't give a house the love on the outside, it doesn't get the attention it needs. As a listing. So you really do need to pay attention to the exterior for sure.
I'll tell you what they should do is making sure it's a safe neighborhood. And if it's a safe neighborhood, what do you do? What do you put in to make it safe?
Well, hey guys, Andy Praske here, Remax Advantage Plus, the preferred home team. My buddy Jake here with Foxville. We're out here talking about a few things. So I just bought a house, hypothetically, and I want to secure that property, but I don't have a huge budget. I just spent all my money on my down payment. What can I do to secure my property?
I think one good thing is to have a camera on the driveway. I've got a camera on my driveway. I use it all the time. It's great for notification. I know who's there. I know when the package comes, stuff like that.
That's true. You don't think about a lot of deliveries from Amazon, the FedEx, UPS, and knowing the packages are being delivered. Also knowing who's coming to the door is kind of nice to notify you.
Yep.
And what other things could you do beside the camera?
Well, one thing that getting a security system in a house can do is lower your insurance for your house.
Oh, good tip.
It's a different percentage for different insurance companies, but I would definitely suggest calling them and asking.
So check with your insurance company, see what kind of a discount you're going to get with your alarm system. So all those things put together, you're telling me, can I still do it on a small budget?
Yep.
Okay, cool. As my tastes and my interests and my budget changes, you can come back and actually elevate that system, but you put it in right the first time so I don't have to replace everything?
Yep, we can always come back and add.
I love that. All right, guys, Andy Praske helping you on your home journey today. Give me a call.
Andy P. It's Andy P.
I'm going into...
I don't like those cameras. I don't like being watched.
Some omelet makers at midnight infomercials. I'm going to do infomercials for omelet makers.
That would be a good one. You could do that. You'd actually be really good at that.
You know, it's hard though, because when you're out there and you look at like houses and stuff like that, and Jake is one of those guys where he does everything from he's very, very understated with what he does. He's done corporate like card scan access for corporate America. They do everything. And so he was downplaying because he goes, well, I don't want to come across as somebody that has all these, high-end exotic. And I go, but that's okay too, because those people need help as well. So it's like, but we did one other video there too. Not that we have the time to show it, but we talked about doing out of the box videos, like where they have 8 cameras in a box and they sell it at the big box store. And that these cameras are not what they call NDAA certified. So what happens is the footage is public. And so once it gets to a certain age, so all of the Nest ringers and all that stuff, the Nest is owned by Google. I don't know if you knew that or not, but and the Ring doorbells are owned by those companies. They take that information and they sell it. And so they're literally selling that information to say, what do people wear? What are they doing? Where are they moving to? What kind of drinks are they holding? And they use that information and they sell it. So NDAA certified means that it is not shared. It's not sold. It is locked into you'll have a hard drive in your basement and then it goes to a cloud, like he likes alarm.com. So you have the app on your phone and then that's it. It's not syndicated or sold, but I really learned a lot from that guy. And I tell you, he's some of his ideas he had crazy. I mean, smart, clever.
I've never heard of Foxwell.
He's a fairly new. He has been around for about 12 years, but his business is new. So Foxwell is brand new, or I shouldn't say new. It's a year or two old.
Would it be on the other side of 394 from me?
He came to Champlin, so he'll go anywhere.
They're not
He'll go to Champlin. He'll go anywhere.
Hi guys, this is a common talking point, especially people my age. The husband is convinced they should rent forever. Read this little question here.
So my husband says by keeping our down payment invested, and the difference between our rent and would-be mortgage payment, say 200,000, 200,000, 6,000 in the market, and paying rent, currently 3,000 a month versus owning, we will come out on top because the S&P will always beat the real estate market, and we will save on major house repairs, etc. We will have to pay capital gains on selling stock for the down payment. I argue there are tax incentives and we want to build equity versus pay someone else's mortgage. Besides the stability and emotional factors of owning a home, is he purely financially right? What do current tax laws state now? And if you live in your house 2 out of the previous 5 years and a homestead it, live in it, what can you do as a married couple?
Take up to a $500,000 freebie.
Tax-free.
What?
Standard & Poor doesn't give you tax-free, do they?
No,
I didn't think so. Yeah.
No.
So there's one thing that
there's a couple arguments we had with what she said. First of all, if she's paying $200,000 down, she's buying $1 million house or close to it, and her payment at $6,000 a month is pretty big payment. Maybe they should look at a smaller investment, and you know what I mean, or have multiple properties, because the average 1%er that I read an article about this recently where they talked about 24% of like people that are worth over like $10 million have invested into real estate, personal real estate of some kind, right? Of their worth. And then there's another 24% that have investments into commercial and other like apartments and multifamily. So there was over 50% of the multimillionaires that are out there have over 50% of their portfolios invested into real estate, because real estate is one of the consistent producers that outperforms the stock market historically and has tax benefits to it as well.
Yeah. And the other thing is the whole rental thing. I'm talking to some people that I'm currently renting to, and it's like, you know what? I might change my mind, and you got to be out by September. But if I don't change my mind, then maybe you can stay till March. And so I'm not so sure everyone wants to live like that either. To kind of be at the whim of the owner of your place telling you when you can't or when you have to leave. So I think that is a big thing.
Well, and let's do some. I got the old calculator out here, right? So you do the math on this. So they're paying $36,000 a year for usage for rent. It's going out the door. It's gone. couple things that you can count on, like the sun coming up in the morning. Your rent is never going to go away, and your rent is never going to be as cheap as it is today. It's always going to consistently keep going up over time. And that versus a house, you pay it off in 15 years, and now you have all that money to do other things with, like, and so there's flaws to that investment theory that they were talking about.
There is repairs. There is repairs, which is true.
Normal.
That's true. You have normal upkeep and maintenance that you do have to do, no question. But I don't know. There's some pride of home ownership too, I would think, and just being able to have a place. But you're so right. I mean, if you're, and rent or your mortgage payment can go up too, because if your taxes or your insurance goes up. But at least at the end of the day, you're going to get rid of it. And did you gain equity? That 36,000, is it really 36,000? It might be 20,000 because you made 16,000, and how it went up, and then you add the tax benefit to that 16,000. Now it's 20. Because if it's long-term capital gain versus your homeowner exclusion tax value.
Well, just look at her cash on cash information she gave you. So $200,000 down, and so that she's going to throw in the stock market and outperform. So she's got to make about a 17% return on investment year after year to keep up with her rent on her cash on cash. So it's not sold.
Yeah.
Buy a house.
I mean, and I don't know. Yeah. I think stocks have gone down before too, haven't they? I thought they did. I thought people are jumping out of buildings at one time.
Yeah.
Did they? Yeah, I thought so.
It happens. I mean, and so when you get that kind of volatility too, I mean, my gosh, can you imagine your net worth every day going like this? And sometimes it does. I mean, there's people out there too, Chris, that are entrepreneurs. There's people that want to have a salary. I mean, there's that 10th grade educated CEO that owns a company and has a lot of straight A master's degree students working for him, right? There's a lot to be thought to be put behind risk takers and going out there and understanding that you're going to gain equity and you need to take that risk. And there's some people that calculate the risk and get scared and they don't want to take the risk. God bless them. I mean, those are the renters of the world. There's a lot of renters out there, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right. But just understand that the math doesn't add up to benefit you 100%.
Yeah, and here's the greatest part. You can do whatever the heck you want and do what you think is right. So, very simple.
Thanks for getting us wound up, Nick. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Dreaming of a lakeside retreat? Here's why Minnesota is your paradise waiting to be discovered. Investment value. Lakeside properties in Minnesota are not just homes, they're valuable investments. Lifestyle upgrade. Imagine waking up to serene lake views, fishing at dawn, or boating under the sunset. Rental potential. Seasonal fluctuations mean you can earn rental income when you're not using the property. Proximity to urban centers. Enjoy the tranquility of nature without sacrificing the conveniences of city life. And variety, from cozy cabins to sprawling lake homes. There's a property for every taste and budget. Ready to dive in? Chris Rudy Home Experts will help you navigate these waters. Your dream lake home awaits.
It's just starting to get into the music, Chris.
Did you see that little profile of me right towards the end?
Yeah.
It's kind of like I was working.
Impressive.
I know.